we're going to continue with the JavaScript part here. So in our header tag up here, where we have all the links to our style sheets, our everything, we're just going to type script with a T, and then you're going to use your tabulator like this, so the system knows we're using some sort of script. And in here we're going to write some JavaScript. The first thing we're going to do is we want to write a function, because we created one down here. Oh no, created one here. We have something called an onClick. So when we click our anchor here, we want this function to start or initiate or load or whatever we want. So copy the name down here to make sure that you have the exact same name. So back up here, you're going to copy it up. So it says function space name parentheses like this. And then you're going to do this. So create again our curly brackets just like in CSS. Once you named what you want to hit, so in our case it could be hashtag and then the name. And then we just add this here, and then we still use our curly brackets. In this, we kind of do the same as CSS. We tell the system what to do. So if we were to add a color, we would type color, blah, 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 and then red, and so on and so on. It's a similar principle here, but of course we use a different syntax or language for this to work. We need to create something, and I'm just going to create a variable x. So this is a variable we can store things into, so whatever we want. And in this case, I want to store some JavaScript. Sorry, I don't want these. I just misclicked. I want them to look in the document, which is this up here. So document, it is doc type HTML. This is what this means. So look into my HTML, and then look for a get element by ID. So get an element by ID. We created an ID down here, and the ID is right here. So looking for a ID on the page and the name. So we are going to copy the name here, go back up to this, do a parentheses and double apostrophes here, and post and paste in the name. And then we're going to end it like we do in CSS. So this is the first part. We just created a variable. It doesn't kind of do anything, but instead of writing this all the time, we're just saving this as X. So now I can use X instead of having to do a lot of different things. Instead of writing that, I mean. We're going to do an if statement, which means if this is correct, do this, else do something else, of course. So don't worry about too much about this. This is something we'll do in a later, going more deeply into this. So X class name, and then inside this, we are going to tell it to be equal. So 3 equal signs, which means it has to be exactly this, and header, nav. You could also do with 2 if you want to, if that doesn't confuse you, but I'm doing with 3 right now. So if class name is equals to header nav, then we're going to add something to my class name. And this looks like this. So plus equal, which means we're putting something together or adding to it actually. So if you remember this one here, once I click up here, so header nav, you can see it adds responsive. And that's what we're actually going to add. So to the header nav, if it's the header nav and we click this button, you're going to add responsive. So the thing you just see here. So click it, responsive. That's the name we're going to have. If you wrote something else like re or ponsive or s or whatever, you need to make sure you type it in here and everything fits together throughout the page, of course. So if you are doing this, if you're that name, do this. Else, if you're not class name equal header, you are just going to leave it at this. Oh, sorry, I can't even hit the correct buttons. Like this. So else X class name, you're just going to leave it as header nav. So nothing will change. That's it for the JavaScript in case. This is a function, and we can go through it in class if we need a little bit more, but for now this is all we need to add and toggle a class. So we can create this in different ways, but I'm showing you in this way. That's the JavaScript function for now. So let's see if we go to our browser and refresh. We can't see it yet because this is up here. And the reason we actually did the JavaScript now is because we need the JavaScript as well to have not have the button, but being able to click it so it expands. So in the next video, we're going to continue with styling our CSS for our mobile navigation.